All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 1 in a best of 3 for the DreamHack Austin European qualifiers. I'm Rifkin, Casma Zombie Grub, CEO of BaseTradeTV, if you don't know. Getting stupid in chat. Spotting in the upper left side of Freon Terraces, it's going to be the green Polar player, Guru.
In the bottom right, same team. It's the blue Terran, Beastyqt.
Yeah, I'm playing for True Esports. I will say True Esports is the most generic name you can think of, but it's so much better than Team Extreme Supremacy, which was their old name.
It sounds like a video game from the 90s.
Oh my god, just Extreme
Supremacy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's that game on Steam. I'm not sure if you've played it, Broforce. It just kind of seems like it would be like along that category of games, but. Really quick to note, Beasty has been playing in things like the Chairs for Gaming Cup. We sadly haven't seen him in Corsair Cups. But the few things he has been playing in, he's actually been doing pretty darn well. And I've had to make quite a few payouts to him because he gets first and second place. So we know that he's doing pretty well recently. But pretty well won't be enough to cut it against a player like Guru. Guru really is scary nowadays. And Guru can take on really fantastic players. So I am certainly pining for Beasty. The Terran bias is real. Me not wanting to watch a bunch of ZvZs is a huge factor. But I also just want to see this guy who I've been following and enjoying since Wings of Liberty do well here in Legacy of the Void. Like, Beasty, to put you guys some context here, like what actually got me into playing ladder more than just like casual, okay, I'm Platinum League and Wings of Liberty, starting casting journey, all this stuff. Like, Beasty had this gross ass build. It was a Terran all in against Protoss. Involved siege tanks, involved this like Viking push. You're like, what the fuck's happening? He did a similar build versus TVT. Like, this was the guy who got me into being a disgusting player. God knows if I never watched Beasty, I may have actually learned a macro in this game, right? But I've really liked this guy since Wings of Liberty, and I'm glad to see he's doing finally well now in Legacy of the Void.
I don't have anyone like that. I'm a little jealous. Because I really wish I remembered how I got into StarCraft 2 competitive scene. I guess I just looked up tutorials, but I don't know what prompted me to look up tutorials. I've never done that before for a strategy game. Up until 6 years ago. Damn, that's a long time.
Oh, 2-year resub, by the way, coming in from Minista too. Definitely needs some attention.
Woo!
2 years, like 2 Reapers. Am I right?
Hey. So, I was also going to bring up that you said, like, I don't watch TVZ all day. So, Hearthstone was tweeting, I guess, like, he's been doing pretty well in the qualifier so far, but he's like, if you're good versus Z, you're going to win any European, like, qualifier, which is pretty true. There's a lot of Zergs and a lot of good Zergs as well, and I guess today his PVZ is on point, but, we cheer for Beastyqt and maybe we have a PVT and everyone just gets knocked out. Womp womp.
A little bit awkward for these Reapers. Nowhere really safe to dance around. So for Beasty, I mean, he did dedicate a pretty significant amount to these Reapers. Losing them is pretty harsh. He does have a wall off up. Well, with an engineering bay of all things, but it's a wall off nonetheless. So he's not going to worry about these lings yet.
What's so funny about this engineering bay wall in particular is that it is only one engineering bay, which, believe it or not, can be a tell as to what Beastyqt is doing. If you're going for a 3cc build, you want to ideally have 2 engineering bays. Like, if you're going to be going for, a somewhat greedy build. If you're going for a 2-base build, you usually have 1. So, Guru doesn't have to really scout the main to see a lack of a 3rd command center, especially once he sees the engineering bay actually moving and grooving, like it is researching something. It's not a young engineering bay wall off where he builds 2 extra in the back.
Yeah, well, yeah, asterisk. may make this decision later depending how pressure looks out of Guru, but I guess that is another thing to bring up. Like, it's, first off, Guru's getting with 4 bases. What the hell?
Yeah.
And it's a map with gold bases too. And this is a guy who loves his Roaches. He loves his Ravagers, but he can certainly play Mutiling Bling as well. My point on this being, though, is that with 4 bases of income, he can either throw away countless Lings or make tons of Roaches. Either way, Beasty, who's only just starting his own 3rd, is not going to have a great income war this game.
Yeah. It's, it's later. It's not the latest, though. He didn't go for a 5 racks build, which could have been a problem. Like, could have been something Guru wants to ensure is not happening and actually scout, but I guess he has a good read on whatever he has scouted, which is just the front lines, mind you. And is get the fourth base and getting roaches, but not really that many roaches.
What I'm hearing is that he should have gone. What did you throw into, like 6 racks?
Yeah, yeah. There's been no scouting. He probably could have. But this push is very odd, not just because it's without medevacs, but it's without combat shields. But Stim will snipe things.
When we did bring this up with you, Thermal, and I'm going to bring it up again now. Like, this is a strange thing where we see Terran players get weirdly aggressive like this, and they send those Marines out, and they try and get these kills, and he's going to kite back and kill the Lings and hopefully escape the threat of these roaches. But as dangerous as that was, it did kill a third.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a trend that I don't understand where it came from, but it's working in a lot of situations. He could have gotten these all the way home. A bit unfortunate that he did not. He also just picked up 2 medevacs to go carry units across the map, so he actually doesn't have a great defense against the roaches that are approaching his base. +1's going to be a lot of damage for certain, but it's only on like 5 or 6 Marines.
Yeah. Well, I think this has more potential to do damage. The roaches are popping up, potentially only going to be filtered in one at a time. Combat shields is going to finish, but that is a lot of roaches.
Oh,
he might give up the
spawns.
natural.
Oh no.
Thing is, if he could wait for another round of production, I think he could take this pretty well. But he's going to focus down the Roach Warren.
What?
What? Not the best target, and he does get surrounded. He was microing this with the map.
Tanks out. It's going to get some shots. I mean, the scariest thing was whether he could even get this in play. And I guess for Beastyqt, even if he loses all these SCVs, I mean, that 3rd command center is up. Mules are certainly going to carry him a certain distance. But without that wall, without a bunker.
Yeah, that's game.
Yeah.
I thought Beastyqt's drop was going to do a lot more damage.
Same. I thought at least it would force reinforcements to stay at home. But that is going to be game 1 for Guru. So congratulations to him. Game 2 going to come up here in a moment, guys. Just going to squeeze in a break while we get the lobby set up. I mean, you don't miss anything through this. It's just us saving ourselves some small talk. So we'll see you soon. All right, we're back, and it is game number 2 in the winners bracket still. Spawning here on the bottom right side of the map. It is going to be the light pink Terran. I was going to say light red for some reason, but the pink Terran, Beastyqt.
I mean, pink is really just light red.
It is, so I mean, I wasn't going to be wrong.
In the top left, as the green Zerg, it is Guru.
I mean,
I'm not sure else I would describe green.
The really yellowy blue. The bluish yellow. They're breaking the rules again. This is... Oh, these guys are going to get banned from WCS. I bet they... Oh, I hope they don't start throwing games, trading wins.
I know, right?
I feel like changing colors is like the gateway drug to more rule breaking.
It really is. It's like marijuana. Gateway drug to heroin.
It blows me away because I don't know if it's the same in the States. I know in Canada, marijuana is like... As widely accepted as it is, it's still legal, right? But it is also still classified right up there with like cocaine and heroin use. Like, that's one thing I've never understood. Like, the severity of cocaine and heroin have always been very obvious to me. I've never tried either, but it's been very, very obvious that those are very dangerous drugs in comparison. It's like Tylenol versus like something you would inject to yourself. You're like, nope, don't take Tylenol. It's not good for you.
Yeah, you know, there's definitely a bad stigma, I guess maybe the right word for marijuana in the United States. It's just so stupid though. Like everyone, I mean, like it's happened forever too. That's what really gets me. It's not that like the 90s kids suddenly got into marijuana, right? It's like it happened in the 60s and 70s. So the people that are now enforcing the rules probably did marijuana back in the day, yet are still, you know, jailing people for it.
That's barely enough space to hide from that Reaper.
Wow. That's clever.
That's
obnoxious.
Clever. This is actually gonna suck because BC, of course, he goes for the reactor.
Yeah, it's surprising he went for a Marine.
Well, he was going to hunt an Overlord, I believe, is why he did this, and I actually really like that idea. But the problem for this lies in the fact that the command center is now going to be in a bit of trouble. So the Reaper's got to come back home, it's got to clean up the Lings, then he got to get an SCV out here. Meanwhile, the reactor's getting chipped away at, and that might not get to finish.
Wow. Oh, wow, that's actually something you're not supposed to get.
Are you serious? 4 Lings going to do this much damage?
Yeah, well, it's actually because he went for the Marine. Otherwise, I think that would have finished, and we would have been able to repair it. So it's...
That or if you had 2 Marines, you could have technically fought, too. I mean...
Yeah, either way. But it's The SCV dying is something that happens not frequently, but it does happen. Just hopefully not on a map where you think it's such a direct path you would never miss the links. But that was a clever spot by Guru. So it is annoying because it also supply blocks you for a little while. If they do it right, basically, it just barely didn't for Beastyqt because of course his reactor wasn't done.
That's
so
such
you didn't have to worry about it.
Oh, I'm sitting here like really appreciating this move out of Guru because if Beastie had seen that with the Reaper in the middle of the map, he would have just stayed and none of that would have happened. Like he would have just attacked the Lings.
Yeah.
That was so like
Receiving
one
transmission.
pixel out of vision type thing too. Like that's what's so crazy about it. Reaper comes back across the map, scouts the layer starting, sees the third base, so gets a lot of information before being driven out this time. There's a smaller choke at the natural, but rocks that you do have to clean up to put that third depot down. So, second depot down. Excuse me. So he's gonna be okay. I know Peely actually tweeted about this, and I thought Fear Dragon was trolling, and I was joining him on the troll, but I think he genuinely misunderstood Peely's question because Peely had asked why are the rocks here? Like if they were on the other side, it performs the same job, but it actually lets you wall off. So
Yeah.
like Protoss, for example, can't put their first pylon down here where they would like to.
I guess Fear Dragon was like, oh, so they can't pylon block.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I should know better than to think Fear Dragon would troll anyways. He's like
Right?
too good of a guy to do that.
Yeah. Well. So we have a Widowmine drop followed up by a tank, and this is like I think the most common way to follow up with a tank push. Third CC is on the way, a little bit sooner than the last game.
Yeah. Drop's going out, and well, it does get a donation. $5. Thank you very much to a zesty warning from Flotch. And I'm going to read this out, but I'm just going to say, man, I hope that Zest does not win GSL because of this message. And he says, just know that after Zest wins GSL, you're getting a $100 donation with a lengthy fan fiction about the man, the myth, the legend, and a particularly intense fanboy.
Well, he didn't say you have to read it, the $100.
I'm pretty sure he means he's going to be donating $5 at a time, each being a line from the...
Oh, okay, did not say.
Because that's what he did last
Oh,
time, that you didn't have to
hey.
suffer through.
Oh, well, thank God. So this is something that we saw Keen do. The
But it was
tank
with these
push
rocks.
with the Widowmine. Yeah, I feel like BT was I thought that was his plan, and then he just ran into the hatchery, which he did also.
Yeah, and the Widowmine got picked off, which is a little unfortunate. But the point of this still is, like, the tank's supposed to be in a position where you can fight with it separately to the Marines. They're in a nice spot here choking between the extractor, but unfortunately does have to pick up. Now, for those who didn't see the Elima League yesterday, what we're referring to, he was able to put this tank behind these rocks, and the Marines would sit on this side. And it worked out a lot better for when fighting these units, but BC knew a lot of these timings, and he did scout the Spire at some point, so he knew that his time was up. Coming back home, I want to comment, in Archon mode especially, BC's been very, very good at showing that he knows the timing of mutas, and he's rarely caught off on the other side of the map with those tanks and medevacs. Is he ready at home, though? There are turrets.
Yeah, he's fine, especially against the initial amount of mutas,
Yeah.
Which right now is only 4, not even the usual 8, so... We'll see if Guru sticks on Mutilating Bling. Frozen Temple, I can see both being a good option, Roach Ravager or Mutilating Bling. It's not like a super short map. It's not a super big one either. And there are a couple of avenues of pathways to send your Lings around and whatnot, especially if you break down the rocks. But I actually I would have been less surprised to see Roaches and Ravagers. But oh well. He is getting +1 Carapace. He only has 1 Evolution Chamber. That's why. It's a little odd. He actually at the top of the Marines, which is the most important thing. A Liberator, however, is trying to help out 2 Liberators are.
They're just hammering away at these mutas. I mean, Beast, he's got that extra Liberator coming in.
Wow.
If Guru overextends his stay, he's going to lose the mutas.
That was so close to being disastrous for Guru, though. If he had actually not taken out the Marines, with the help of the tanks, mind you, all his mutas would be dead.
Not only that, but I mean, if like those mutas had not split at the last second like he did, like there's nothing saying that would have been just barely enough damage to kill them, because a couple did get so very, very dangerously low, and 3 did die. Now that's a better trade for Guru in every respect, though, but it was damn close to being banned. So the mutas live, they're going to regen up, more mutas being made. This is where we're going to see why Liberators are being picked over Thors right now, and a lot of it has to do with not just the speed and the mobility to respond to things like mutas, but the cost effectiveness of it. That new Thor change that is proposed incoming, where they become single target but massive damage dealing single target, I'm really excited for, because every single way where you think mutas could be a problem, Liberators are your answer now, not Thors.
Unless you play, well, I guess if you play Terran If you've never played Terran, sorry. If you never played Terran, you don't know the feeling of relief it is to get 2 Liberators, opposed to trying to deal with mutas the old-fashioned way with his turrets and like appropriately placed Marines. Like it's so much easier.
I mean, that and like even just the comparison of trying to boost with a medevac a Thor around, it's so just
Yeah.
tilt-inducing trying to keep up.
It certainly was. It made you feel fancy, just like worker splitting used to make you feel fancy, but it was annoying. Where Liberators really just
I hate worker splitting.
No, I love worker splitting. Like once you learn to do it, it was so good. Anyway, it is so much easier to have Liberators, but the game continues. And Liberators aren't the biggest problem right now, although Beastyqt is committing to 6, which
He's still continuing to make tanks underneath him, actually, though, which is an important note.
Yeah, I'm worried about the medevac counts. Like, the lack of splash is not going to be an issue, because he is making things, as you said. But the lack of medevacs might be. Like, it's usually, like, banelings anyways, so your Marines are going to die or they're not. But still, like, stimming can be worthwhile. Medevacs to drop were obviously limited, and...
Well, carry the tanks around, too, said tanks that he's making.
That's true. Yeah.
This is kind of cool. I almost wanted to call it a ninja base really quick, but it is just actually, if he's expanding, the normal way to do it. Beastie, however, does scout it. Okay, so the Marines saw it. He knows the base is up there. He's going to catch the Mutaflock with these Liberators, maybe? It's kind of awkward for both. Neither wants to take that fight.
Yeah, just all dodge. I mean, Beastyqt is going into air weapons as well pretty damn quick. I feel like there is a problem with going too quick into Liberators versus Zerg, unlike versus Protoss, where I feel like going quick to Liberators is like a good build, a good style. And that's like... Liberators don't really necessarily help against a lot of tiny things, and you know, tiny lings and tiny banelings, but they'll certainly help out against the mutas, and the tanks will cover, hopefully, the ground.
It's a dick joke somewhere there. It's true though. We saw it earlier, and funny I use that word. True, we saw it in the Olympic League. It was such a funny game. Like there was just him going 174 lings, and the Liberators just couldn't shoot fast enough to kill him.
Yeah.
The banelings are going to be a big problem. The Marines they're trying to split a little bit last 2-second maybe.
This is such a wide open area that this was a good engagement, almost no matter what for Guru, even without.
Liberators got wrecked. That's it. BC just lost the air war. He was supposed to have dominance in the skies.
Yeah, at least, you know, and, you know, worry about the ground later on, but he is just going to die here.
Yeah, he doesn't have that +1 dynamic for the tanks either, so the Lings are taking hits like champions. I mean, Liberators come out, but even with the Marines running back, they're running back into a mineral line. Good game gets called, and Guru proving Hearthstone right, that if you are, you got to have good versus Zerg to advance in the brackets.
Yeah. So that's going to be... Guru facing the winner of Hearthstone, sort of.
And there'll be a semifinals match, but Hearthstone, are you in game? He is. Okay. Maybe we can catch like game 2 or 3 of Hearthstone, sort of, if that's still going on. I will say if it's Hearthstone that wins, we'll cast it. If it's not, we're gonna go somewhere else, like to the losers bracket. There's good games because I just can't. I just can't do ZvZ. It's all we cast and everything we always cast. I just don't want to do ZvZ today. So, if Hearthstone isn't the one to advance, we will go find the losers bracket match. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in 2 minutes.